Oh, we are so excited to have a very special guest today. I alluded to it yesterday on Forecasting with Friends.
Woohoo! We have multiple friends today,
guys. We have lots of friends today, that's right. So this is Peyton Gallion. She is, well, I mean, I first became acquainted with you on TikTok.
Yes.
Meteorology student at OU, University of Oklahoma, and is she our first friend on Forecasting with Friends?
Yes, it's official.
Oh, I
It's
feel
official.
honored.
You're the first friend that we've had on
We need to
Forecasting
get you like
with
a
Friends.
medal or stickers.
So she is amazing. So you're from here.
I am.
You are going into your junior year.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us a little about yourself. What I'd like to do, maybe, while we have yours, a lot of people, I want to see if they can share this with maybe their teenagers
Yes.
or maybe high school, especially girls that might be interested in going into this field. And who better to give them advice
Yes.
than you two? Yeah. So
Okay, so start us off with your college experience so far. We know you've done some amazing internships.
So I'm originally from League City. I went to Clear Creek High School, so go Wildcats. But I got involved and fascinated with weather really by Hurricane Ike in 2008. My grandmother lives in Seabrook on Galveston Bay. The storm surge sadly brought over 4 feet of water in her home. And I was 7. I was like, what is this? What is a hurricane? We don't really learn about this in school. So my dad was an emergency management coordinator for the city. And I tagged along with him to a ton of weather-related events. And I was like, this is cool. I want to do this. OU has a great meteorology program, one of the top in the country. A&M is a great program. Penn State, Florida State, just if you look for it, there's great schools out there. I was sooner born, sooner bred, so it made sense to
I was
go to
going to
Norman.
ask you, because I remember I'd asked you one time about A&M, but you said you didn't even apply to A&M.
No, I
right?
did not. I've been going to football games in Norman since I was 6, so
okay.
I'm still going to football games in Norman. We're in the SEC now.
Yeah.
But it just made sense. In Oklahoma, it feels like home. Everyone there is so nice. It's a small town feel, and the opportunities there are incredible. The Storm Prediction Center is on campus. The National Severe Storms Laboratory is on campus. The opportunities I've had while in school are unheard of at campuses across the country. And so I'm very fortunate my time there. I've interned locally in Oklahoma City at multiple stations in a private company. This past summer, I've been in Atlanta with CNN. And so I'm starting my junior year and excited for something else coming soon.
So how did TikTok kind of start? I mean, obviously you were probably on it scrolling, but what made you be like, no, I want to be posting?
So within my journalism classes, I've learned news is changing. People are absorbing news different ways, and a lot of people are on their phones. And I've seen news on TikTok. I was like, what about I put the weather there? It's an app everyone is on. And so one day I posted about a severe weather threat in Oklahoma that was impacting me, and it got over 100,000 views within hours, and to date it has over 1 million.
Wow.
And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna keep posting about this. And then unfortunately that day there was an EF2 tornado in Norman, in my college town. I had friends whose apartments were damaged. I had friends' homes who were destroyed. But the comments I were getting were like, you were right, like this did happen. Can you post again? And so it just kind of took off from there, and I post every single day.
We did. Okay, so we didn't get to hear the audio there. I wonder, Juan, can we re-rack that? Because I wanted folks to see. This was the post that you posted yesterday, and it was actually really informative. It was like really, really informative. So are we able to show that again? Yeah, so let's hit the sound.
And will be deadly. From 2014 to 2023, Kentucky and Mississippi stood out as the states with the highest fatality rate. The average number of annual fatalities within the U.S. during these years was 47. Mississippi had 7 and Kentucky had 8. States not far behind include Texas, Arkansas, Tennessee, and Alabama. Now broadening to 2004 to 2023, we see that Mississippi and Alabama become more prominent. The average across the U.S. jumps to the 70s. Missouri with 11 and Alabama with 16. Now it's important to note within this time frame we had notable tornado outbreaks. April 27th, 2011 in Alabama and the Joplin tornado. These individual events themselves claimed hundreds of lives. Now, broadening our span to a 30-year period back to 1994, you can see just how many fatalities occur on average. and Texas with 135. There is a positive to look at. You could argue that less people are losing their lives. You can see the number decrease as we look at 30 years, 20 years, and 10 years. As technology advances, as communication advances, the word is getting out about how severe and threatening these storms and their systems can be. That is why it is always important to stay weather aware. Sadly, tornadoes can and
Ooh, that's
so,
good.
I mean, the information there is amazing and takes a lot of time and research.
Yeah.
And I love how you, at the very end, everything you were saying, you brought it all together, like through the decades, how we're seeing fewer and fewer people, and hopefully that has to do with what we do, you know, communicating some of the threats of the storms. But I must say, though, you're a little bit of an extraordinary student, though. Like, I think most young people are not doing that. You know what I
No.
mean? Like they're kind of doing TikTok dances more than really informative stuff like that. So, where do you get all this energy from?
I've just always kind of really been a determined person. If I want something, I'm going to do it. I'm going to make it happen. And I'm very determined. I want a job in a good market for meteorology. I'm going to do what I can now to help ensure later down the line I have enough experience that can help me get that job.
Yeah.
And I think putting yourself out there, all these great experiences I've had, I wouldn't if I didn't work for it.
Yeah,
and
well,
so
that's true.
I
It's
think
so true.
instilling a good work ethic in yourself is great. And not only being a woman in meteorology, only 8% of all broadcast meteorologists are chief, and only a third are female. So I'm already going into a male dominant force. You're going to have to stick out as it is in doing this. I haven't really seen another female do this. I see guys do it all the time and essentially make a name for yourself.
Also, mornings too. Ladies are usually put on the morning schedule for weather. I mean, that's what we have in Houston right now. Like, I mean, I'm the morning guy here, and I think I'm the only guy that's, well, I was until recently. I was the only guy that was on in the mornings until recently, but not that I'm talking about the other stations, but I mean, through the years, almost probably 80, 90% of morning news is going to have a lady meteorologist, which means in most cases that you're going to have a guy at night who is the chief.
Yeah.
And you're right. So, I mean, but I hope, you know, the other thing, I'll be honest with you, because I don't know if you've experienced this, Allison, but weather is one of those things that can be intimidating. Like when you're around meteorologists, it's kind of like if you're around, if you're in a gym and everybody's lifting weights, you know what I mean? Like you're trying to get in the
like,
gym.
goodbye.
Maybe you're not as strong as everybody else, and you're kind of a little bit embarrassed that everybody else is, you know, benching 200 and you're doing 90 pounds or whatever. And meteorology, there's this weird thing that it's kind of the same way, where you feel intimidated, like, gosh, everybody knows so much more than I do, especially when you're just getting started.
Yeah.
Like
And
imposter syndrome.
Imposter syndrome, that's what it is. And I think a lot of us feel that, you know, from time to time. I know I do, but especially when I got into meteorology, I thought, oh my gosh, these people seem to know so much more than I do. And it could be really intimidating. And I imagine if you're in an environment, just because I have 3 daughters, where if you go into a class and meteorology, engineering, and stuff like that is very male dominated if you go into a college class.
Yeah, I mean, my class in meteorology at OU, it's small. We only have about 55 to 60 students. And
Wow.
about a fifth of that is girls.
Yeah.
So in the grand scheme of things, there's like 10 of us.
Yeah.
And this past semester, I had a female professor, and that was great. But going forward, I'm really going to have male professors.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's like even there might have been more girls going into it if they felt more comfortable or more welcomed. Do you know what I mean? So,
Well, and then, I mean, I hate to say it, but we know that girls, there's a lot of jealousy. So
Yes.
some of the older women, because I had this in my first market.
I remember you telling me about this.
And she was-
ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, I had gotten the job. She was the chief morning met, and she is a great person. There's nothing against that, but I just don't think there was no help. Let's just
She's
say
not
that.
watching right now.
Yeah,
I do get that. Like,
and it's difficult.
it's like seeing that I have had success with that, and I understand how lucky I am to have a following this big when I'm still am in school. And I do have a lot of classmates that do kind of get jealous about it, But everyone has the same opportunities to do this. Put yourself out there, make a name for yourself, because what I am doing is because I started this and I put in the work for it and I was passionate about it.
Yeah, well, it shows.
I know, it's
Definitely
awesome.
shows, yeah. We have a couple of things that we're going to include Peyton to talk about here, right?
So we have this really cute video.
We all love animals.
I'm sorry, but the rest of the show is all about animals, so I hope you guys are strapped in. So the Dallas Zoo finding fun ways to keep the animals cool in this summer heat. So take a look at this sweet little elephant. Zoologists challenged these elephants to a drink-off. They wanted to see who would be able to finish a bottle of Gatorade the fastest. Now, I think it's a common misconception that elephants actually use their trunks as a straw, but what they do is they use it like a cup. So they take it all in and then they blow it into their mouth. But unfortunately, the humans came out on top. I was hoping the elephants were going to come out on top.
Maybe they just weren't that thirsty that day for some reason, but
they're so stinking cute.
Maybe they were mad that it was Gatorade and not Elephant Aid.
Yeah.
You might not like the flavor.
Yeah, come on,
That might
grape.
have been it too. That's right.
We need cherry. What's the yellow one? The lemon lime.
Lemon
It's like
lime, fruit
like lemon lime.
punch.
So maybe, look.
We should have asked them.
I think the scientists might have learned something there, that maybe they just don't like grape.
Look how cute. Oh my gosh, they're so cute.
I would think, though, that elephants would be able to cope with hot weather. I mean, I think
Yeah,
in their
they're used
native
to it.
environment. So, all right, good. Look, anytime we could throw in. Didn't we do a totally unrelated, unrelated?
The cat, the four-eared cat.
The four-eared
last
cat.
week.
It has nothing to do with weather at all.
But it's in forecasting.
Except that his name was, his name was Audio.
Audio, yeah. I thought it was like sonar or something.
Yeah, that's
like,
what I thought it was too. So yeah, we slip stories.
We
in
have,
there.
and we have some more coming up, but we just quickly want to go to our weather graphics to talk about the heat because, you know, it's fun to laugh about it, but we really want to make sure that you guys are staying safe. It is not noon yet. We're already at 90 degrees, but look at the heat index, already 102. And interesting enough that our graphics are saying, yeah, like 105, 106 feels like, but it could be maybe a little bit hotter than that.
Yeah, and if you're standing out in the sun, boy, it definitely feels a lot hotter than that.
And the dogs, you don't want them out there walking on it. You know their little paws get hot so quickly. So current temps in the upper 90s, or low 90s rather, but take a look at those feels like temps. Up to 104 in College Station right now, as well as Sugar Land, 106 in Galveston, and feeling like 102 here in Houston like we talked about. So the heat definitely on. Bay City, we're likely going to be in those mid to upper 90s this afternoon, but take a look at Humble. There you go, 100.
Or at least really close to it.
Yeah.
The last couple of days, it's been interesting. It's amazing how like a little bit of haze or some slightly more cloud cover can prevent you from hitting 100. So so it looks like we're probably going to get close to 100 the next few days, but we haven't hit 100. Actually, none of our observations, like even Sugar Land, which tends to run hot, Katy, Tomball, all these still didn't hit 100. Yesterday, 98.
Really?
Yeah, it was 98 yesterday. And then on Monday, Sugar Land hit 99, but I think Houston was only 97, and it looked like somebody was going to get up to 100, but they didn't. I think there's actually a little bit of smoke in the air that's come all the way around from western U.S. wildfires. Maybe that's it. But I'm very surprised because in previous years it seems like we would have spiked up to 100.
Well, especially compared to last summer when it was 100, 100, 100, 100, 100,
every
100,
day.
plus, 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 plus.
Yeah, it really
But I
was.
will say the sunrise was so pretty this morning. It was pink when I was leaving my house and I look
And
over
you
to the
love
left.
pink.
Oh, I know. And I'm like, but it's one of those deals where it really hurts your eyes. So I just was like, I was trying to get a quick glance, like I just want to see it quickly. But yeah, so that's like the pro of the dust and the haze, but obviously the con, not good for folks that have breathing problems, even kiddos. You don't want them out there all too long. So you guys, we have to go to break, but come back and we have some more animal stories for you.
Fox 26 is
Remain anonymous.
The Fox 26 YouTube page. Like and subscribe today.
Okay, so we're back with Peyton Gillian, Weather with Peyton, WX with Peyton on TikTok. On your TikTok page, you say, real life Sam Sparks.
Yes.
Which I love because if you're not familiar, the movie, I should have put a picture up, but Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs is like such a great movie. It's a hilarious movie. And, you know, I watched it with my kids like so many times, but the weather presenter, the meteorologist in the movie is Sam Sparks. And so you have that personality like Sam Sparks does and the enthusiasm like she has, but you also like have like a resemblance
Yes.
literally to Sam Sparks.
And I'm allergic to nuts.
Is that right?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Is your middle name Samantha?
No, it's not.
Okay.
So, but how did you come to identify with that character?
So I was babysitting in high school, and I love that movie, so I put it on, and the kids were, I think, like kindergarten, second grade, and they're like,
Yeah.
"You look like her."
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, I am. I do look like her."
That is so funny.
But
I love that.
so maybe one day you'll meet your Flint.
Hopefully.
Wasn't that his name,
Yes.
Flint? Oh my gosh! But I love that movie, and when somebody, it was so funny because my daughters, you know, I have one is not on TikTok yet because she's 12, but the 17-year-olds, I'm like, okay, you have to follow Peyton, you know, and of course they did, and then they're like, oh my gosh, real life Sam Sparks, and they just said, oh my gosh, this is so awesome, you know, they thought it was like the coolest thing. So, you know, there might be others, you know, some young people that, you know,
Embrace
Resonate
it.
with that.
yeah, that's the thing. You know, you have to kind of embrace it. So that's another lesson. I mean, you kind of have to embrace who you are. You know, don't try to be something you're not.
Exactly. Because you will not succeed if you're trying to be someone else. You know, you have to be yourself.
That's the thing. You do have to, and it's hard, especially when you're first getting started, to develop your own kind of, you know, persona, I guess, you know, and the easiest thing obviously is to be yourself. Now, everything in TV, you know, when you start working in the business, which we, you know, maybe it'll be here, you never know. You end up having to sort of navigate your way through that. It's not, if you're 100% being yourself, sometimes it's a little too low energy. I learned this from our former anchor, Jose Grignon. I don't know if you remember him, and he was here forever. But he told me, if it feels like you're being overly exaggerating, then it's probably normal.
Yeah.
It's going to come off as normal on TV. It's that way on stage. Like, I never really acted on stage, but I know you always have to, you know, if you're doing Shakespeare or whatever. It feels like you're overdoing it, but that comes off as normal. So, you know, to a certain extent, you are yourself, but you're a slightly exaggerated version of yourself
Yes.
if you're successful on TV. That's my opinion. And Sam Sparks is a good role model to have. She's definitely out there.
Yes.
All right, we have some animal-related stories, Peyton.
Some more. I'm ready.
Some more animal-related stories. Okay, so this is a catfish. That's right, in somebody's driveway. This was right in somebody's house. This is down in St. Petersburg, Florida. Of course, they were just hit with heavy rain from Hurricane Debbie, and these folks walk outside to see catfish trying to swim on their front driveway. I will tell you though that being from Florida, there are walking catfish.
Which is crazy.
And even when it's not raining outside, they'll sometimes jump out of the lake and kind of wiggle their way on the ground to go find another place to go.
Poor little
so I've seen
guy.
this before, but I guess, you know, they liked or they got confused, you know, by the fact that it was raining so heavily. So as I mentioned this morning on the news, I really hope that they did not end up fried.
I hope not.
Because there are people who are going to
That's awful.
consider that an easy dinner.
He's just trying to get home.
Poor
He has
guy.
a family.
Look at the cute little whiskers.
I will say catfish is delicious.
I know,
though.
people
Yes.
love them.
But not that one in particular.
Not that one.
Not the one I caught in my driveway.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, maybe not the driveway cat. No, not the driveway catfish. We don't want that.
Okay, so speaking of Debbie, this is not animals, but I promise there's one more. Take a look at this video. Debbie was not stopping one couple's love after each other. Do you see that heart around those two people?
Oh,
yes.
he's winning the day, that guy.
That is a man proposing to his girlfriend on Myrtle Beach in South Carolina. Now, don't worry, the sea looks rough back there, but this all happened before the storm hit. You know, it's one of those deals, and I'm not a man, I did not propose. Mike, you can talk about this, but if you have the plan, you got to stick with the plan.
Yeah.
Even if there's Debbie coming.
Neither rain nor sleet nor whatever, you know, it's like the mail's got to get delivered. The proposal's got to get done. I have to say, I mean, this is good. A long time ago, but I was scared to death.
I bet your heart's just like.
Yeah, I was scared to death. It really was.
Did it all go as planned though?
Oh yeah, everything went fine, you know, but it was just like, I would have liked to have done something more dramatic like that, but I was just,
You just had to get it done.
Yeah, I had to just get it done, you know, and just, so.
My husband
I
did
admire
propose
that.
to me on the beach. At,
Really?
Yeah, 8 a.m. on a Tuesday or something.
wow.
Did he draw a heart in the sand?
No, but he did get a photographer to come and like hide and like take pictures.
I always
so.
wondered how they do that. Yeah, I mean, people post those pictures on social media all the time of like pictures of them proposing. I'm like, well, how, was it an invisible cameraman?
Yeah,
or what?
exactly.
How does that happen?
I know. Okay, guys, one final story, and of course it involves a dog. Check this out. That face.
I love that. So this dog is a Bernese Mountain
Yes.
dog, and somehow got loose from the house, came back to the house and was ringing the doorbell. What I thought was funny about this, well, I mean, not only is it adorable that the dog's ringing the doorbell, but that sound of the Ring doorbell drives dogs crazy because they know somebody's at the front door.
Yes.
Yes.
And most of the time they start barking and freaking out. So like if that noise comes across at our house,
They're like-
the dogs go into attack mode.
I just love the face.
It's like when my phone goes off for Life 360. My dog knows that someone's home. Someone's pulling into the driveway.
Yeah, we have that too. So they know that somebody's home. Yeah. So that noise, I think that might be why his head was turning. 'Cause he's like, how could somebody be at the door if I'm here?
Yeah, he's like, what? But the fact that he knew to even hit
Exactly.
the doorbell,
So smart.
I know. We just don't deserve dogs, first off. They're the best ever.
So do you have a dog up at school or no?
I do. I have a 12-year-old Chihuahua.
Oh.
I love him.
What's his name?
His name's Coney.
Little Coney.
Yes.
An Oklahoma dog.
Yes, he hates the snow. He does not like the snow, but he's a country dog now. He lived his suburban life. Now he lives.
Now he's a country dog.
Now he's a country dog.
Well, that's
That
good.
gig.
That's very cool.
Well, we adored having you on
Yes,
Podcast
thank
with
you.
Us. Thank
So
you for
please
joining
follow.
us.
It's
Yes.
WX with Peyton, because WX means weather.
Weather.
Okay?
In our
Weather with
world.
Peyton. Yeah, in our world. Our world. So thanks for coming by.
Yes,
It was
we loved
just
it.
beautiful to have you here. Stay in touch with us, and you never know. Hopefully, you'll see Peyton on Fox
One day.
of these days.
One day.
We love that. We'll be back with a quick forecast after.